Hello everyone, welcome to the very first Town of Salem 2 video. We are going to be taking a look at all of the new roles in the game, what they do, and kind of just the new aspects of the game. So I'm not going to be going too in depth on the differences between Town of Salem 1 and Town of Salem 2. That's going to be a completely separate video where I'm talking about like the different interactions and things like that. But as you can see, one big difference is I can run around, much like in Traders of Salem, or Traders in Salem, Traders of Salem, I don't know. But you can run around, you have houses, it's pretty much just limited to that. During the day, you still just sit there and chat with everyone. The only difference is at night, you're in your house and you can like walk around if you get bored. So it's a little bit less passive, but yeah, also there is things like at 1, you can do at Abigail Hobbs, and our favorite thing, bread. So I don't know, you guys might have seen that in the Town of Salem subreddit where people just randomly say semicolon bread. Is that colon or semi? It's colon. Colon bread, yeah. So you can use colon. There's also hashtag for all of the roles in the game. And the cool thing about this is you can click on them and it'll show you all the information about the role, as well as like for bread, it'll tell you the information about bread. So, and then you can click on the player. There's a lot of different things that the chat functionality has added to it now, which I believe is a pretty nice thing. The only downside is the chat is relatively small. I don't know if this is the same size as Town of Salem 1, but for whatever reason, it just feels smaller. I don't know if it's the text size that changes that or what. I bumped it up, I believe, to large because, you know, it is kind of hard to read. And, you know, I just want to make sure that everyone's able to read it. But anyways, let's kind of run through here. There's multiple different tabs you have down here. We're not going to worry too much about that. But let's just go through everything. So we have some new roles. We have Admirer, Amnesiac, which you can see is in Townies. Bodyguard, Cleric is a new role. Coroner is a semi-new role. It was in Traders in Salem. Crusader, Deputy is a new role. Investigator, we'll talk about Investigator in a second. Jailor, Lookout, Mayor, Monarch is a new role. Prosecutor is a new role. Psychic is, I think, slightly changed. Retributionist is here. I can't recall if it's been changed or not. We'll discover that whenever I go over the card. We have Seer, which is a new role, kind of. It's from Traders in Salem, so if you have familiarity with that. Sheriff, Spy, which has been changed slightly. Tavern Keeper, which I'll go into this. You guys actually know what this role is. There's Tracker, Trapper, Trickster, which is a new role, Veteran, and Vigilante. These are all the town roles. Here are all the coven roles. So there is 15 total coven roles. So we have Conjurer, new role, Coven Leader, different role, Dreamweaver, new role, Enchanter, new role, Hexmaster, same, Illusionist, different, or new role, that's the one. Jinx, new role. Dusa is different. Necromancer, I don't think is different. Also, do these have the... Okay, I was about to say, do these have the same icon? They're very similar. But then you have Poisoner, which is actually different than current Poisoner. Potion Master, which is slightly different. Ritualist, Voodoo Master, Wildin, and Witch. Yes, Witch is now part of Coven. And as you can notice, right off the bat here, it's Townies versus Coven. There is no more Mafia. And I'll kind of explain that here shortly. But let's get on to the neutrals here. So we have Arsonist, which is the same. Baker, we'll talk about that one later. Berserker, you guys know this one as well, but we'll talk about that later. Doomsayer, which is a new role. Executioner, which is different. Ooh. We have Jester, which is slightly different. Pretty nice. Pirates, also slightly different. Plaguebearer, you guys know that one. It's a classic. Then we have SK. I don't think SK has changed at all from what I recall. Shroud, Soul Collector, and Werewolf. So Shroud and Soul Collector are new. We'll talk more about Soul Collector too, because these ones right here are pretty spicy. But, and then Werewolf Everyone knows about that. And then we have VIP and Town Trader. These are all, what are they called? I forget the name of them. Modifiers, there we go. They're all modifiers, so you can have Town Trader VIP. Can you believe that one? But just in case you want to mess around with that, it kind of seems cancer, but you know, whatever works, works. But anyways, let's kind of run through everything here. So first of everything, you can also ban roles from here. So you can add in banned roles if you don't want Admirer. There's going to be some roles that you guys probably won't like. There's a lot of roles that I already don't like, and I'll kind of explain why as I run through everything. But you can mention this in chat. You can show the role card, which pops up in the center here, and you can add it to the role list. But obviously you can click it just normally, and then right-click to ban. And then, or you have to select ban, but that's pretty much it. Anyways, let's go on with Admirer. So if you're familiar with the Lovers mode, Admirer is kind of like that. So during the day, you can propose to someone, and if they accept it, both your role and your lover, so if they accept it, you'll become lovers. Both of your roles will be revealed. You'll be revealed as Admirer, and whatever their role is will be revealed as well. And I believe the way that that works is only a town, or only a townie can accept be proposed to. I haven't personally played as Admirer yet. I don't know if it's selection based or not. I'll drop a little note here on screen, but I'm not exactly sure on if it is something that you select or not. Like you get to visit a person during the day and that pops up. But yeah, and here's the attributes and win conditions for that. You guys are able to look at that. And then these are the attack and the defense now. So depending on how many ticks you have around this is how much attack and defense you have. Like for Vigilante, if I show you this, this has 1 tick, so it has basic attack. So it's a little bit different than what we're used to, but we'll kind of go around to that. So Amnesiac is a completely passive role now, and it's a town role now. And the way that it works is the very first townie that dies that you can remember, aka they're not stoned or cleaned or whatever. I forget what all modifiers there are to prevent you from remembering, but stoned for sure, that's still in the game. But as long as you can remember that role, you will automatically remember it. And it's, say like 3 townies die on night 1. That doesn't guarantee like the first person in the list here. I'll pop up the player list really quick. So like say we're looking through and we have the graveyard right here, and Abigail Hobbs, which is me in this case, say Abigail Hobbs is first. That would not be the person that you remember. It would be randomized between the people that are currently in the graveyard. So there is that. That's pretty much the down dirty with it. It's not too special. It's just Amnesiac, except it's automatic and it's a town now. So you don't get to select your role anymore. But there is the ability, and here is the attributes and conditions. All right, let's go on to Bodyguard. So Bodyguard is exactly the same as it was before, except you now have 2 self-vests as opposed to 1. And you can guard people every single night, and then bada bing, bada boom. There you go. And does it? Did they make it to where you don't die anymore? I'm not exactly sure. You and your visitor will fight, so I'm assuming that you still die, but I honestly haven't seen a Bodyguard work since, because there's a few things that we'll get into on why that is not the case. You'd think that it might work, but it doesn't. And then there's a thing where you can't counterattack any passive attacks, or I think that might be the new quote-unquote astral attack. I don't know. Let's see really quick. Is astral a thing? Astral visit, passive. Passive isn't but in here. But Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think Astral is considered a passive attack. So let's see on that. They say, yeah, it doesn't trigger anything like Bodyguards, for example. So we're just going to say that that's a passive. I don't know if it actually is, but that's what we're going with. And then there are the attributes. We've already looked at that. So here is another town protective. This one's a new one called Cleric. So this is kind of like Doctor. It just gives someone a barrier, and it gives them powerful defense. So I'm wanting to say this is literally Doctor. Oh, actually, no, it is Doctor because there is no more Doctor. So it is literally Doctor. But anyways, you have one self vest. There is the description to Cleric. You also still cure poison. If that happens, we'll kind of talk about that later. And then here are the abilities. All right, so Coroner. This one is kind of a meh role. So if you've played Traders in Salem, you know about Coroner most likely. So the way Coroner works is you can visit someone, and the way it worked in Traders in Salem, you had to find a body, and then you had to autopsy them, and then you could use that autopsy to check multiple different people. So this is exactly like that. You could perform an autopsy on someone in the graveyard, and then you can examine players every night to see if they were the ones that had killed them or not. So that's pretty much it. Here is the ability, just in case you want to read that. That's what the autopsy is, if you want to read that. And then this is the examine. And then also things like enchanters. That's kind of like Framer in early enchanter. But there are certain things that kind of mess with your results. So just keep that in mind. And then that'll tell you if they're evil or not, or they're the killer or not. And that's pretty much it. And there's the attributes, blah, blah, blah. Just in case you want to read that. Crusader, exactly the same. So you have a basic attack, no defense. Here is all of the stuff. There's nothing different from Town of Salem 1 with this one. And then it's just still one random person. And then the players get powerful defense. So, actually, have they always given powerful defense? I think they have. I don't know. 'Cause I don't think basic attack. Yeah, basic defense. I don't know if it applied powerful or not beforehand, but from what I've seen, all of these apply powerful. So that is kind of how it is. Well, this one definitely applies powerful defense. I don't know about Bodyguard. I think Bodyguard just intercepts, whereas these give you powerful defense. All right, let's go on to Deputy. Deputy is one of the cooler ones. So this is a daytime vigilante where you can shoot a player during the day, and it'll be a powerful attack, so it can go through most things. And then if you shoot a town member, you will immediately die at that moment. So 2 people can die in one night as a result of your missed shot. But the Hangman will come. And the Hangman's something entirely new. I won't get into it this video, but man, it's some of the things in this game are awesome, and you guys are gonna enjoy it. Other things suck, but you know, let's get on to Investigator and kind of explain why some things suck. Perfect timing, Investigator. So Investigator does not work at all how it used to work before. How I like to think of it is a weaker sheriff, and it's almost exactly like Coroner, except you don't have to autopsy someone, but you do have to find someone that has killed that night. So you get to visit someone every night, and if they killed, then they will be sus. So if your target attacks someone, they'll show up as evil, basically. And then Illusionist can mess with it, Enchanter can mess with it, and Vigilante, from what I know, shows as evil. And then also, there's also a few town roles that I haven't quite verified the interactions with. If I discover what those are, I'll go ahead and I'll drop them down here. That way you guys are familiar with that. case you guys like to try to memorize that before you actually start playing. And let's get on to Jailor. So Jailor, exactly the same. Still 3 executes. You could still jail every single night. You get to anonymously talk with your prisoner every night. But if you look right here on the second line right there, you cannot jail the same person 2 nights in a row. Perma-jailing is no longer a thing. Yeah. So that's something to keep in note. If you want to execute someone, you honestly need to execute them that night. Otherwise, you're kind of screwed. But here are the attributes for the Jailor, and that's pretty much it. It just talks about counterattacking, which I think really only applies to SK at this point, right? I'm not sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And obviously you can't execute someone on night 1 as well. So that still remains to be the same. Lookout, as far as I'm aware of, is exactly the same. You also don't visit the player that you're visiting anymore. So that's something different from Lookout. So you don't actually visit that player anymore. You don't have to worry about accidentally visiting a veteran, for example, or something like that. So that is a pretty neat thing. I don't remember if there's a visit on how many limits, or a limit on how many visits you can see. There we go, that's the one. But I don't think there's the limit anymore, and I'm not exactly sure on that. I'll figure that one out as well. I'll drop it down here just in case there is. If not, if you don't see anything in here, just assume you can see infinite visits again. And then here are the attributes, and you don't see anyone that have astral visits. So there is that. And then we have Mayor right here. And actually, I'm looking over at my recording. I'm thinking I'm going to talk about all of the town rules in one video, so this video. And then the next video is going to be talking about the Coven and the neutral rules. So, because there's less of them, this has probably about double town rules compared to Coven and neutrals. But Mayor, it's literally exactly the same. Your vote counts for 3 as soon as you reveal, and you can't be whispered to as soon as you're revealed. Or at least as far as I'm aware of. I'm pretty sure. That's like not a thing anymore. I don't know. Oh, and then also, your defense cannot be higher than none. So, I'm assuming, I've actually never, I've played Cleric like once, but for reasons that we'll get into in the next video, I've never been able to test visiting a Mayor before. So it is possible that Cleric and Crusader can visit Mayor now. I'm not exactly sure on that one, so I'll also let that, there's a lot of things that I'm going to be leaving here down at the bottom for you guys to check out, but I'll verify that and then kind of get that confirmed for you guys. So here is Monarch. If you remember King from Traders in Salem, this is exactly how it is before. You get to knight, or you get to choose a player to knight, and a knighted player will have an extra vote. You can have 2 knights at once, and so you can have 2 extra people having 2 votes. So yeah, just keep that in mind. It is a town power, and I'm not sure if it's unique or not, and I don't know that even mention if it is unique anymore. I would assume that Monarch is unique. Yeah, it is unique, and it doesn't say it in the roll card for whatever reason. I honestly, I might mention that to the devs to make that a little more clear. But, and then I believe Mayor is also unique. Yeah, Mayor is unique. Deputy is, no, Deputy is not unique. Prosecutor might be unique as well. Prosecutor is unique. Retri is no longer unique. We'll actually kind of run through and see what all are unique. So, Amni is not unique. Bodyguard, not unique. Cleric also probably not unique. Coroner, not unique. Crusader, not unique. Deputy, not unique. Investigator. Jailor, still, yeah, unique. Lookout's not unique. Mayor and Monarch, yeah, we got all the way around. So, anyways, And my brain just is not working right now, sorry. So here are the things really quick right here, the attributes. So one thing is your defense gets bumped up to basic after you knight someone. So if that player remains alive, you will have basic defense. So you're kind of like a reverse mayor. It's pretty cool. I like the concept of it. Pretty decent. But let's get on to Prosecutor. Prosecutor, familiar with traders in Salem? It's the exact same. It is almost pretty much the exact same as Deputy, except you get to prosecute 2 people. And you will also get punished if you prosecute a town member. You'll also die on the spot, much like Deputy. So do keep that in mind. But Prosecutor is basically just a more powerful version of Deputy. So that instantly puts someone on trial and then they get voted guilty if you're Prosecutor. So yeah, you get to do that twice. So it is a more powerful Deputy. And that would probably also be the reasoning on why it's unique compared to Deputy. So then we have Psychic. So Psychic is almost exactly the same. However, the difference now is you get to visit 1 player every night. So say you visit 7. 7 is guaranteed to be in your visits. So just keep that in mind. And then it's still the same. Odd nights will have an evil vision. Even nights will have a good vision. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, yeah, that's everything. Here are all the things. They can still be, since they're TI, they can be affected by Illusionists and Enchantress, or Enchanters, lots of stuff. And then we have Retri. Let's talk about Retri here. So Retri, exactly the same. You get to target someone with a zombie, and then you get to resurrect them. And I don't believe that zombies... I think you can reuse zombies over and over again. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works now. So I don't know, is corpse a thing? Corpse is not a thing. Maybe a zombie. Zombie not a thing. What about hashtag zombie? No. But anyways, that's another thing I'll put down here. I'm pretty sure you can use it infinitely. I've only played a few amount of games because I've been relatively busy since we started doing the testing. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to say the least for Retri. And then also the fact that Retri isn't unique anymore. I think they made it to where corpses don't rot because there are multiple Retries, so you'd have to like fight between them, I assume. But yeah, I don't know if it rots for yourself or what the deal with that is, but just if you don't see anything, just assume that what I said is correct, that corpses do not rot anymore. So Seer, let's go on to Seer. So if you recall this from Traders in Salem, you get to visit 2 people and it will tell you if they're on opposing factions or not. So say, for example, you visit player 3 and player 7. If player 3 is a town member and player 3 is a coven or a neutral, it'll say, hey, these people are on opposing factions. If they're both coven, it'll say they're in the same faction, all that sorts of stuff. And then you also cannot choose a revealed mayor, so just keep that in mind. That is a little bit of the balancing type thing and all that sorts of stuff. But yeah, so you have Intuit and Gaze from that. And then here are these. Just remember, Enchanters and Illusionists can screw everything up for you. And I don't believe Seer is unique. It is not. Psychic is also not unique. There is relatively few unique roles, so just keep that in mind. All right, and then we have Sheriff, everyone's favorite role. It's exactly the same. Here is the ability. Here is the attributes, and yeah, just keep in mind if someone has the Necronomicon, they won't appear as suspicious anymore. And still, Enchanters and Illusionists can flip all of the results around. So yeah, that is pretty much Sheriff, the exact same. Spy, on the other hand, is a little bit different. There is no more Mafia visits and Coven visits. It is exclusively just the bug now. Oh man. Let me tell you how much I think Spy is going to be the worst, or at least one of the worst town roles in the game. I think the least powerful town roles are going to be the town investigative roles, because we have Crusader, Investigator, or not Crusader, Coroner, Investigator, and Spy. They're just terrible roles all around. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. You just have what's it called? You just have your bug now. And then it'll tell you if they were attacked, protected, roadblocked. I'm just going off of this. Silenced, dreamweaved, controlled, and a variety of other things like Hex, Douse, Insanity, Enchantment, Illusioned, and all that other sorts of stuff. So you can detect like astral visits to a degree. So the buff would be that you can see hexes now, I guess, and blackmails. I don't know if you could see blackmails beforehand. That might have been the case, but yeah. Anyways, here are the attributes, and I guess the good thing is you cannot be deceived. So that's a plus. I still think it's a terribly weak roll because the chances that you see any of these things happen is really slim to none. And you'll see that I have a video recorded where you'll see Spy. That's pretty much the gist of that one. All right, let's go on to Escort. I mean, Tavern Keeper. Wow, what do you know? You get to have a celebratory beverage with your target each night, role blocking them. This is Escort. So, and it's literally just Escort. And the new thing is you cannot be role blocked multiple times in a row. The following day, you'll be hungover and immune to role blocks, and the next night. So that is also another big change. No consecutive jails, no consecutive RBs. The best thing you can do is like try to coordinate your Tavern Keeper. I prefer Escort. Your Tavern Keeper and Jailor together, and then kind of work with that, but All right, so let's go on to Tracker. So Tracker, another TI role. It's exactly the same as how it worked before. You get to track one person each night, and then I'll tell you who they visited. Here are the attributes and the win conditions. Nothing different about Tracker now. Trapper, also the exact same as how it used to be in Town of Salem 1. I still also believe that you have to build your trap, and then you can dismantle it, and then yeah, that's just pretty much it. And then yeah, it does say that traps still take a day to build, and then you can only have one trap. So just keep that in mind. It's literally exactly the same. There's no differences between it. And then we have Trickster. This one's a new role. You guys aren't familiar with this. I'm ready to get on to the next one. You guys can have your mind blown. So here is all of this stuff. The way that Trickster works is if someone attacks you, you have 3 opportunities to deflect that attack to someone else. So say I'm player 11 and someone attacks me and I select player 4, it bounces from me to player 4. So that's kind of how that works, and you only have 3 uses of it. So yeah, and then also you can redirect all attacks in one night, so it's not just a one and done kind of thing. I think like Bodyguard is only 1 attack. Crusader only prevents 1 attack too, as far as I'm aware of. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess with the powerful defense, it blocks more now. But yeah, that's pretty much that. And then is Trickster. Trickster is not unique. Trapper is not unique. I'll just run through all these things really quick. I already went through Tracker. Tavern Keeper, not unique. Spy, not unique. Sheriff, not unique. Seer, not unique. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I've already been through all of this. Veteran, you guys ready for this? Veteran is not unique anymore. Yes, there can be multiple veterans in the game. Can you believe that? Now you have an even higher chance of getting Silent Veteran. That's gonna be fun. And it's literally the exact same thing. You have 3 alerts, and it deals a powerful attack. Here is the attributes. You still get your basic defense, and you still get notified if you shoot anyone. But yeah, there is that. And then finally, last but not least, there's Vigilante. This one's also exactly the same. You have basic attack. You get to shoot someone. If you fail, you will be hanged by the hangman. And I'm pretty sure that happens the following day. Whenever I think the trial period shows up. I don't know. We'll be a little bit more familiar with that as we see some more of this stuff happen. So just keep that in mind. Also, you can't shoot on the first night, just like normal. So that was all of the town rolls. This was a 30-minute video. I'm actually pretty glad that I decided to say that I'm going to split this into 2 separate videos because we still have double the amount of rolls here. Like, look how much stuff we have to go through still. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this cleared up anything. If you guys have any questions at all for any of the roles, feel free to drop a comment. And if for whatever reason I forgot to mention something, I'll go ahead and try to clarify that in the comments and all that sorts of stuff. So be sure to go through there. Let me know what you think that your guys' favorite town role is going to be and what your least favorite town role is going to be down in the comments below, because I'm curious what you guys think. And I'm curious if that's going to change with the next video, because there are some interactions that might make you second guess on your favorite roles. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm so glad to be able to introduce this to you guys, and we'll get you some videos out here real soon. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye, guys.